I've lived here in Melbourne, Australia for over 6 years now, but it was only recently that I discovered that my hometown of Melbourne is also home to the world's longest tram line. Melbourne's historic transport system spans 245 kilometres. It has 28 lines currently operating, 1,813 stops. It runs around 5,000 services a day, and it transports over 200 million passengers every year. I'm on a mission to learn more about my hometown, so today I'm going to take a literal voyage of discovery and ride the world's longest tram line while sharing some of the things I discover about Melbourne's world-beating tram network. I didn't know it was a world record breaker until about 6 days ago, but see, I'm learning as well. The tram line in question is the number 75. It goes from here in Melbourne's Docklands all the way out west to a place called Vermont South. I've never been to Vermont South. I've no idea what we'll find there, but we'll learn that together as we go through this journey. To work out as well exactly how long this tram route is, I'm going to track it using GPS so we can get an accurate indication of exactly how long we've travelled on the number 75. Okay, first issue, that's our tram. In typical Steph fashion, I was filming one of the trams and I actually missed the tram that I intended to get, but it's okay because the number 75 to Vermont South, they run every 10 minutes, so they're pretty frequent on this line.
Stadium precinct, Burke Street.
So we're going from here, Docklands in the city, following this blue line around through the city, Flinders Street, out the west of the city, over the river, and then kind of, well, it actually goes past that, kind of to about here. So it's 20 past 10 as I record this. It's kind of after the main commuter rushing time. So there's only 2 other people on board this tram apart from me. This whole thing you can see behind me is pretty empty at the moment. First part of the journey is pretty slow. We just left Docklands, winding our way through the city now. So about 10 minutes after leaving Docklands, we're now in the heart of the city. That was Flinders Street Station, one of the main sort of central terminals for the rail network here in Melbourne. And now we're going to start making our way west and hit our first suburb, which should be probably Richmond. And then about 25 stops after we left Docklands, you come to this. This is the Melbourne Tram Museum. I've driven past this place probably 100 times. I've never been in. It's closed today. It's only actually open 2 days every month, so check the website if you want to come down here. But it's home to over 20 full-size restored trams. They've got some of the old iconic W-class trams in there, and even some prototype trams that have been used to test some of the new routes and technologies and the decades of Melbourne's tram history. I'd love to go in, but it's closed today, unfortunately. But if you are travelling the 75 and this place is open, well worth stopping and having a look, I assume. I've never been in. All right, according to Tram Tracker, we have 3 minutes until the next 75 comes through, so let's jump on. Starts to get very suburban around here now on the tram line. We've passed through Richmond, and now we're in a suburb called Camberwell, and it's about 10 miles from the city to this point, according to the GPS. I've been travelling for about, well, taking out stops, travelling for about an hour now to get to this point here. So being a Melburnian, I can't go more than an hour without a coffee. Whilst I was waiting for my coffee in the shop there, I was actually looking up a few more facts, and as well as the longest tram line, the 75 that we're riding today, the largest overall network, Melbourne also has the oldest continuously running tram network in the world as well. It was set up in 1884, making it almost 140 years old. Talking of things that are really old, let me give you one other tram fact. You've seen me tap on with this card. This is what we call a myki. Now, you may be surprised to know, if you're watching this somewhere else in the world other than Melbourne, you cannot tap on and off on the tram network here in Melbourne using a regular credit card. You know the way that you can do in every single other city in the whole world? We can't in Melbourne. You still have to buy one of these cards. You have to actually pay for the card itself and then load stored credit onto the card. But at the end of 2023, that ends. From 2024, they've said one of the first things they're going to do is to roll out the technology so you can tap a credit card on the tram when you're traveling. There isn't one person in this whole city who isn't going to be glad to finally see the back of these things. Actually, I need that still. Okay, off to Vermont South.
Stop 70. Stop 71. Stop 72.
That's stop number 72. Ironically, I only just realised this, there are actually 75 stops in total on the route number 75. So we've got 3 more stops to go until the end of the line. And you can see now we're kind of really out in the outskirts of Melbourne and the tram is pretty much completely empty. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I've never been to Vermont South, so I'm very excited to see what it's actually like, see what's there when we get there. Hopefully some kind of plaque or just something special to commemorate the end of this journey along the world's longest tram route.
Stop 75. This will be the last stop.
So this is Vermont South. This is the end of the line. There's no plaque, there's no memorial to celebrate the fact that this is the end of the world's longest tram route. I've clocked 15.9 miles on here. Now, give or take a few miles there because we were out looking at the tram museum, getting a coffee, but the official length is 14.1 miles, or about 22.8 kilometres. Just been having a quick look around Vermont South Station to see what's here. If you also choose to ride the 75, there's not a lot. I will be honest with you, there's not a lot here. There's a Coles Express. I think, yeah, there's a McDonald's as well if you're hungry. That's it. Thanks for riding along with me. Do click on this subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. It means a lot to me to see the channel grow. Otherwise, I'm going to jump back on this tram and head home to Melbourne. The tram's gone.